Today I'm going to show you how to edit an image using adjustment layers. To begin, you want to make sure that you have your window and your workspace set to photography. Again, it's window, workspace, photography. Usually you'll be set to libraries here, but if you click adjustments on the side here, you can see that we have several adjustments that you can make. Right here, you have your brightness and contrast, levels, curves, exposure, vibrance, hue and saturation, color balance, black and white, photo filters, channel mixer, color lookup, gradient map, selective color, threshold, posterize, and invert. Today, though, we're mainly going to be focusing with your exposure and your contrast and your brightness. On your haiku page, I have left an image for you to open. So in Photoshop, you're going to go File, Open. And I had saved this one onto the desktop. So I just have to pull it up here. So I had saved this image as the bad eye. You can see that when I open it, that the image is dark and it's what I call muddy. So on this image, you're going to start first with the exposure. I always start first with the exposure. So I'm going to go to my exposure here. And the great thing about using adjustment layers is that you can decide later to make more changes to it. So you can already see as I raise the adjustment that the exposure already makes the image look better. So when I'm done with this layer, I can just close it there. Over here on my layers, I can turn it off and on so you can compare the difference. After I've adjusted the exposure, then I go to the brightness and contrast. I always work with the contrast first, and I will increase the contrast on this image. And as I do so, you can see that the blacks are becoming blacker and the whites are becoming whiter. But you don't want to go too far, as you see, because then you start to lose detail. So I'm going to step back. I always like to go too far and then step back from there. Okay, and then if I feel I need it to lighten my image just a little bit more, I can go to my brightness and increase the image brightness from there. So now we have a really nice glow in the eyes. The eyelashes are a nice rich black. We have our black inner eye here with a little bit of the reflection. Again, I can close here. So you can click on and off the layers. You can see before I did my brightness and contrast and after. You can see the exposure before and the exposure after. Or you could take both of them off and see what the original image looked like. Now, once you are done adjusting your exposure and your brightness and contrast, you have to flatten the image. Okay? So I go to Layer, I go to Flatten Image, and now I only have one layer that's locked that says Background. And now I'm ready to save my image, which is File, Save As, and here I'm going to save it to my desktop, and you will write your period, last name, dot, first name, dot, and this one we did the exposure, the contrast, and the brightness for ECB. And then you're going to hit save, and then make sure you have it at maximum quality 12, and then you're going to turn this into your Dropbox.